All right, the Bank of Canada has made its decision on interest rates. No changes. Joining me to talk about all of this is our mortgage guru, Clinton Wilkins. Clinton, hello.
Hi, Todd. How are you doing?
I'm well, you?
I'm doing great. You know, it's October 27th and no change to the Bank of Canada key overnight rate, which is, I think, great news for Canadians. Inflation certainly is a concern. And I think even some of your previous listeners were talking about, housing supply and, cost of living here in Halifax. The country is experiencing issues, really from coast to coast. We're not in a little micro area that's just, one place having some challenges. I think it's certainly topics that are being discussed by all levels of government.
I think it's eventually the Bank of Canada. It's inevitable, though, with inflation doing what it's doing, they're going to have to raise the rates. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, eventually they're going to raise it. Some economists were saying that we may start seeing some slow burn as early as late next year. You never know; they may see some increases, in the coming months and quarters. If the inflation keeps on going up. I read an article today that an economist put out to say that the inflation is really at the highest point that it's been in the last 18 years. Obviously, Todd, that's a symptom of, the government pumping out all of the resources and all the funds that they have over the last, 19 months since the pandemic started.
Yeah, I've heard that it's going to be sooner than that. I've heard that they could raise rates in their next announcement.
Well, the next announcement is December 8th, so that might not be a great holiday gift for some consumers. Obviously, any consumer that has a variable rate mortgage or a home equity line of credit or any, liabilities that are tied into the prime rate would obviously be impacted. For me, I think it's a little bit of a wait and see. Historically, consumers do better in a variable rate mortgage product, Todd. I'm a big believer in it. We're on the radio every time the Bank of Canada meets and obviously giving our perspective. And fixed rates certainly have increased. And I think that's putting a little bit of pressure on consumers. I think there's a little bit of uncertainty. The fixed rates today are higher than they have been even pre-pandemic times. So, we're certainly seeing a spike in that. And, they move independently of each other. And I think the variable rate is still a great choice for a lot of consumers. Right now, for, a variable rate type product, consumers are looking at rates that are in the low 1% range, Todd. So there certainly is some room to grow. When you're looking at, a fixed rate product that's, 1%, 1.5% higher than where the variable is, I think that many consumers can take the risk if they have the stomach to take it. And, I think that's one thing that, consumers really need to think about. And I think this announcement and kind of what the Bank of Canada is saying, there's going to be increases. But, those increases, I think, are going to be, decisions that are going to obviously impact the bottom line, maybe your payment. But is it going to be cheaper over the period of time? Our consumers certainly think so. Today, we're still obviously, many consumers are taking a variable rate. So I think it's going to be a little bit of wait and see. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen in December.
Right. And of course, you and I will be talking about this and a lot of other things when we were on the air on the weekend, right? Tee that up.
That's right. We're going to be on the air this Saturday and Sunday. So if you're driving around and getting ready for Halloween, you can certainly listen to our show here on CityNews. We're going to be kicking off Financial Literacy Month, and November is Financial Literacy Month. Obviously, we want to bring attention to that. I think it's a really important thing. And, the Financial Consumer Agency of Canada, created it 10 years ago to really bring awareness to Canadians around, financial health and wellness. And, we really believe that mortgage is a big piece of that pie for Canadians. Obviously, if you own a house, it's your biggest purchase. Oftentimes, it's your biggest asset. And we're going to be bringing in some special guests this month. We're going to be having some live shows throughout the month, and we're going to be obviously doing our kickoff here this weekend, and we're going to be doing another hour show at the end of November. So hopefully lots of great content. And, if any of your listeners, Todd, want us to discuss anything specifically around financial literacy, feel free to, send Todd a message or send me a message, and we'd love to talk about it. And I think there's going to be lots of great content, and we'll do some deep dives into things like income, assets, and credit, and obviously home ownership.
Thanks, Clinton. We'll be chatting soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Todd. Have a good day.
All right, you as well. Take care. Clinton Wilkins, our mortgage guru.